Yo, what is up, everybody? Shout out to everyone hanging out with us. Anime heads, anime fans, all of you guys, night cappers. Some of y'all are night cappers. Hey, I appreciate the love, the support. I appreciate the viewership. Thank you very much. Hit the like button if you have not already done so. Yes, weebs. Let's not forget the weebs. What's up to all the weebs out there? My man Brandon is hanging in the back. He'll be joining us in just a moment. But yeah, thank you. Anime Nights episode 3. We are talking Chainsaw Man. There's a lot to talk about with Chainsaw Man. Beyond the movie itself, I think that's important, obviously, and we'll discuss that. But I think even bigger than that, maybe bigger than that, is how anime basically is going to become super mainstream. And it's going to happen faster than maybe you even think. Because right now it's going to win the box office this weekend. Anime is here, okay? Chainsaw Man is going to win the box office this weekend. At least that's the way it looks right now. It'll be the second anime release of the year to win the box office in the U.S. I mean, that's pretty big, man. I don't know if this has happened. I'm pretty sure at one point in time an anime film has taken #1 in the box office. I think the original Demon Slayer Mugen Train, I think that one did take, but that came out during the pandemic, so it's kind of hard to gauge. But I believe it took first place in the box office. Then we also, then we saw Infinity Castle took first place in a major way in the box office. And now here we are with Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man, you guys, not a title that a lot of non-anime heads have heard of, but one that is seemingly, one of the better movies. At least in my opinion, it's one of the better anime movies I've seen. It is absolutely dynamite, and a lot of people were looking forward to this because they knew what the arc was, the Reze arc. I had no idea what the Reze arc is. I didn't, I don't read the manga. I saw the first season of Chainsaw Man probably about 5 or 6 times by now. I love it. Chainsaw Man is definitely one of my favorite shows out there. And now here we are with the movie taking first place in the box office. So we're going to talk about that. Before we do, let's go ahead and say what's up to everybody that's here. You guys are awesome. Sorry I couldn't do it yesterday. I just wasn't feeling well. And sometimes, when your body is telling you, hey, take a nap, lay down, get some rest, drink some water, relax. Then it's like, okay, I think I need to do that. Because I've pushed myself, really pushed myself a couple of times, and the results are never good. So it's like, all right, I'm going to take it easy, especially as I'm getting older. But shout out to Brandon, the anime guy. He'll be joining us in just a moment. Don Vermillion is in the house. Some of these names, I'm not sure because they're giving us the @ names. So I'm not sure if some of these names are y'all legit names. Latrax 6798, what's up? Rockefeller Plaza, there's a name I know. What's up, Rock? Shout out to you. Thanks for being here. Sergeant Giratina, one of my mods, always here. Thank you very much, Sarge. I got SJ in the house. Stacy Gardner. Okay, I know you guys. I know y'all. And Stephanie Napolitan is also here, along with Tony Ilias. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on Anime Nights. And look, we're small now, but we're mighty. We're going to grow. As anime continues to grow, we're going to get some more people in here. We'll convert some folks, all right? Best believe that we will convert some people. Don Vermillion says, I'm here for the DA Chainsaw Head. Chainsaw Head. Chainsaw Man looks fantastic. Will be the first movie I see this year. Man, you should check it out. Real talk. You should check it out, man. It's a really good movie. But I do recommend watching the first season first. I'm not just saying that to, get some more views or whatever. I think you need to see that first season to really appreciate what they're doing with the characters. This is a very character-driven. There's a lot of action, but it's very character-driven, the movie itself, and it's all in the first half of the movie. The first half of the movie is the setup. It's all character. You really get to know, it's even if you haven't seen Chainsaw Man before, you understand the character of Denji, who is basically just, like this poor, put upon kid that has had to deal with a whole lot of drama in his life, and he hasn't had the opportunity just to be himself, and now everybody seems like, hey, now that this guy is, part man, part chainsaw, everybody wants to kind of dig into his life and take advantage of him and use him and abuse him, and all he wants is just a little bit of normalcy in his life. It's like, hey, man, I just want to live a normal life. Don't y'all feel like that sometimes? Like sometimes I feel dingy. Like dingy is just like, bro, I'm just trying to like have a girlfriend. That's all I want. I just want to do the normal things that people my age do. I think he's supposedly 16, right? 16 or 17. I think he's still 16. But he just wants to be a normal kid. That's it. He just wants to be a normal dude, and he's dealing with all the nonsense, But anyway, man, so we'll talk more about Dingy. We'll talk more about the movie Chainsaw Man. Let's see, Super Dave. Yo, DA, how you doing tonight, brother? I'm hanging, man. Again, feeling a little bit better than I did yesterday. I was good enough to kind of get up, make a video, get some lunch, and now, it's on to the show. Let's see. Blessed to be those who convert to Opie, become bathed in the awesome that is anime. Absolutely. It's happening, bro. It's going to happen. Everybody's going to get on board because they're not going to have any choice. Dingy is very straightforward. He's a straightforward character, but he's layered because, in my opinion, it's like because of everything that he's been through, now we're looking at Dingy's life like almost through our own life and seeing how we are. So it's a very interesting character. Let me go ahead and bring him on, man. Brandon, the anime guy, hanging in the back. What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
What's up, hey DA? How are you doing this fine evening?
Man, I'm enjoying life. I'm
Good.
hanging. This is a beautiful day. I saw Chainsaw Man on Thursday. Loved every second of it. And I plan on seeing it again. If not tomorrow, then Monday. But I want to see this movie multiple times while it's in theater. I want to support it. I want people out there that want to see good movies support good movies. So I plan on watching this multiple times, as many times as I can. I hope the audience does the exact same thing. Look, I say this all the time. The more if you want it, go and support it. If you want more anime in movie theaters, go support anime in movie theaters. That's the ticket. Because if you don't, guess what? They'll just stop giving it to you. It's like, all right, these guys don't really like anime like that. Let's go ahead and put on some more whatever. 40th anniversary of blah, blah, blah. We'll just That's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see more of these series that I've fallen in love with. I want to see them get their proper respects. I don't know how you feel about that, Brandon. That's kind of how I've always felt, because I'm not just a anime fan. I'm a movie fan. I love going to theaters. I love watching things in theaters, So how do you feel about that?
Well, I've always loved movies, although when it goes to anime, most of it's not really geared towards being viewed in the cinemas. It's only been a little more recently that it's really picked back up again, But as far as the first point, if you want more of what you want, you got to support what's there that is actually what you want. So going to see the Infinity Castle, a wise choice. Seeing Chainsaw Man in the cinemas, absolutely a wise choice. I haven't seen it yet. Spoilers don't bother me, so I'm good there. You can spoil away because I kind of know what's going to happen. The big question that I have is, did anybody bark?
Did anybody bark? I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, I don't think anybody barked, man. I feel like this. And this is a question that I have, and I think it's a question. Maybe I'll throw this up in the poll. Is anime going mainstream a good thing? What do you think? Is it a good thing? It is, because there's pluses and minuses to everything. Yeah. For one, if it goes mainstream, that's good on the sense of, okay, we get to get anime in movie theaters. We'll see things more, it'll have a bigger, larger format. We'll get more IMAX releases, like things like that, right? But you also start thinking about the people that are going to come in. Are they going to try to change anime away from what anime is?
Well, we've already seen that try to occur.
We've already started to see that.
Yeah. So you're right. This is a very sharp double-edged sword. I happen to believe that it's sharper on the side of it going mainstream being bad, precisely because some of the more, let's say, niche type things that are very, very Japanese, in very steeped in either their culture or just in how mangakas like to do stuff, getting trampled down or having the blue-haired Landwell Brigade come in and say, "Oh, Ree, how dare you have twincest? Wee, that type of stuff." No, the mangakas, they want to create what they want to create. There are certain things that they do that I don't care for, but that's their choice. They can make it if they want because there's something for everybody. Yeah. But for anybody from the outside, especially from the West, to go over there and say we want to take you mainstream, but you got to do it our way, otherwise go away. No, that's not good. And as far as stuff going to the movies, as I mentioned, a lot of these are not really geared towards single film releases or even multi-film releases. They're really geared more towards traditional television series setups. Basically, that's how mangas are designed: multi-volumes, multi-chaptered, strung out over, if it's really good, over the course of years. Every now and then you can get away with the movie. I like with My Hero Academia. I like how they did their movies because they're non-canon offshoot type stuff, type stories. Yeah,
exactly.
So that makes them better. Whereas, like with Demon Slayer, it started off as a traditional TV series. It had a 24 episode season 1.
It did.
That's when they decided to do, whether because of the coup or not, take the Mugen Train, make it a movie, and then they broke it out into the 7 episodes, and I think they added some extra stuff. And it was the same with the Entertainment District arc, the Swordsmith Village arc.
Yep.
But now for this last bit, it's all movies. And I'm not entirely sure I'm sold on that, but I haven't seen Infinity Castle because I haven't seen anything up to the Mugen Train. I'm still stuck in season 1.
I agree that there is a desire. You can clearly see there's a desire to start shifting things for Western audiences. Say, okay, rather than just allowing this to play out on, a television screen or somebody's computer screen, or maybe some of you guys, this is all I watch. I watch my phone, and a lot of people like that. They just watch everything on their phone and they haven't seen a TV screen in years. But I feel like if you're an anime, if you want anime to be big, maybe, I don't know, it's weird. I want anime to take over like current Western entertainment and show them how it's done. I still enjoy my movies, my television shows, but I want people to start locking in with what's working with anime, and anime is dominating right now because it's the only good storytelling that's consistent. They have great characters, great storylines. The art is absolutely amazing. Like they're doing everything their audiences want. And I want them to kind of start getting that highlight, because I know that once everybody starts seeing what anime is doing, they're going to say, damn, we've lost the Gen Z for sure. And maybe we'll lose future generations if we, instead of trying to do exactly what anime is doing, we need to find the truth of what's within our own genres, and start doing, do superhero movies the way you should be doing them. Quit trying to turn them into woke slop, but actually make good movies out of these and good television shows out of these. That's the lessons I want people to take away from anime. I don't want them to go over and try to copy off of anime's homework. I always say that. Don't copy off of somebody else. Go do what you do. That's what anime's doing. Anime's doing what anime does best. Okay, especially when you look at Chainsaw Man. It's like the animation is bonkers. The fight scenes, the last last hour is nothing but one gigantic long fight scene. And it's beautiful. The animation is great. It's hilarious. There's comedy intermixed within all of that. And then there's some heart-tugging moments. Even within this giant battle scene, there's Aki has this great moment, this touching moment with Angel. And it's just like, bro, this is awesome. This is what anime does better than anybody else right now. They tap into their own genre. They know how their audience is going to react to certain things, and they give the people what they want. And that's what I want to see all these other folks do, but I don't think they're going to understand it until anime just completely wipes the floor with all of them. And that's what I'm expecting to happen.
It's going to take a massive wipeout before they'll actually change their ways, and they've had plenty of opportunities to do so. If anything, there have been films that have come out that have shown, yes, there is an audience for certain things, and if you don't mess with it or wokeify it, then you'll be fine. But they just, it's like, how can I describe this? It's like, not to go political, but it's like with TDS. Once you have that mind virus so ingrained into you, it's damn near impossible to get it out. It really is. The woke mind virus is very, very ingrained. And as long as the current crop of people that are running it have that as their basis for everything, and everything else can be damned, then yeah, they're not going to change. So
DA doesn't remember the mid 2000s when Japanese video games tried to go mainstream by trying to appease the Western audience. Wasn't a good look and failed hard. So yeah, this is what I don't think anime will do. At least I hope they don't. I hope not. Don't listen. You guys have captured the Western audience just being yourselves, because the big thing in this day and age is authenticity. They don't want you to go over and try to make something Western. No, stay right where you are. Do exactly what you've been doing. You won't miss a step. And again, that's what Chainsaw Man gave me. You know, Chainsaw Man is all Japanese. You don't think for one second they're trying to pander to a Western audience.
And that's the way it should be.
That's exactly the way it should be, and that's the way it is. That's why I think when you start saying, okay, they're anime going mainstream, it's a bad thing if the anime studios and the mangakas are trying to play to a certain audience.
Yeah.
If they stay doing what they're doing, they're fine. But if by going mainstream, that means, oh, okay, then I need to go and try to do the Marvel Cinematic Universe or DC or stuff from the West. That's not what I'm referring to. I don't think anime is going to do that because they'll fail. Just like Budgie Cat said, it was a giant failure when they tried to do it with the video games.
Yeah, Capcom
it's going to fail.
Yeah, Capcom about failed back in that time frame because of that. They had turned over most of their creative stuff to Western teams that they had sponsored, and yeah, they about bit the big one. It wasn't until they stopped that and turned it around. Yeah, as far as One Punch Man, it's good. I liked the first few episodes I watched. I don't know about season 3. It's been a very bad roller coaster with it. Yeah. But that is the one advantage of doing things in a movie format. You typically have a bigger budget and you can really push the animation boundaries. Whereas with a TV series, unless you're Toho or Toei doing One Piece, yeah, you're not gonna have 500,000 per episode to make it awesome. You're gonna have maybe more like 25,000 per episode if you're lucky. So.
Well, look, let's talk about what we came to talk about. Chainsaw Man, absolute cinema.
Tell me
Runaway
about it.
Vagabond, yeah. Name, I don't know if he'll be able to make it, lowercase name, but he saw it as well. We was going to go on last night if I could have made it, but I couldn't. And then he has some prior arrangements, but he may drop in. I think I sent him the link. If I didn't, let me send it right now. Yeah, all right. So I sent him the link. So if he can make it, he will. And then we'll hear his commentary. But yeah, I did an out of the theater review on Chainsaw Man as soon as I got out of the theaters, and I was just blown away. I think the first half does move a bit slow. Mm-hmm. It is a slow moving anime. It's not, or movie. It is not trying to speed run. It kind of starts out right where the season 1 left off. Yeah. And look, let me go ahead. Do I have a spoiler banner? Yeah, I'll put a spoiler banner up. I don't think I'm really spoiling anything by kind of giving you a lowdown of what happened, early on. But I'll say it anyway. Denji and Power and Aki, they're all recovering. It kind of meets them in the moment where they were right after the first step or the first season of Chainsaw Man. They're laying down in their apartment. Denji wakes up. Power has to go get some sort of a blood, I think a transfusion or something. Because
Power blood, that's a good idea.
Well, I think she got too much blood and they're taking the blood out. That's why I got to go watch it again. Because I was a little bit confused about that. But in any case, Denji goes in to see Makima, and he's actually introduced to a new sidekick, who is a shark devil named Beam, and he is absolutely one of the funniest characters. He's one of the funniest characters I've ever met because he has kind of this he worships Denji, Chainsaw Man. All right, he calls him Lord Chainsaw. He worships him.
Oh,
So it's really hilarious. But yeah, he's partnered up now with Denji. And then in the meantime, Makima, she's continuing to do what she's been doing, sinking her teeth, sinking her, her claws into Denji, trying to basically get this guy under her tutelage. It's kind of interesting that Makima almost sees Denji like a loyal dog. I kind of got I'm getting more and more of that, especially with this, because basically she's just taking them around. They're going on a movie date. And they just go see a bunch of movies. Some are good, some are not good. But the last one kind of touches Makima and Denji's heart. And then Denji says, "So I do have a heart." So his whole thing again, he just wants to be normal. He just wants to be a normal dude. He wants to have feelings. He wants to have a girlfriend. He wants to have a heart. He wants to know that his life is normal, because his life has been anything but. But anyway, he gets trapped in a phone booth in a rainstorm. He rushes into a phone booth. And then out of nowhere, a girl runs into the phone booth with him. And I immediately said, okay, this is weird, the way that they just set this thing up. But it was obvious that this was part of the story. Reze joins him in the phone booth, and they kind of hit it off right away. She works in the cafe. She says, "Oh, you got to come see me in the cafe." She takes off after the rainstorm is over. Denji actually beats her to the cafe, which I thought was kind of funny. But the overall beginning is their relationship. Okay, the first 40 minutes of the movie is really about Denji and Reze going on a date or going around. Just he comes to the cafe every day. He learns her ways, she learns his ways. It's a true romance. It's a slice of life little romance, and you kind of say, I get what's going on here. She's basically doing the same thing Makima's doing, which is sinking her claws into Denji, because it's so obvious that that's what's happening. But as the story goes on, they go to a school. They get caught in another rainstorm, so they can't leave the school. And then they go skinny dipping in the pool, and that's the moment you see in the trailer. Yeah, this and that's where things start getting real interesting. Oh, in the meantime, I think I said this already. Aki, and Angel, the Angel Devil that you saw at the end of the last season, they are partnered, and Aki don't like him. He doesn't like this guy at all, because on some of the cases that they're on, he has an opportunity to give someone a graceful, peaceful, quiet death, and Angel refuses. Say, "Nah, I don't want to do that." And so Aki's like, "I don't think we're gonna be friends, bro. I don't think we're gonna be friends at all." But as time goes on, that changes. So anyway, and then the other thing is, Beam kind of has the ability to kind of stalk Denji. His fin, like he has a little shark's fin, but he can kind of create, I guess, going through the floor. It's always like a little puddle of water, and a shark's fin is following him. It's an interesting dynamic. You think about this guy, he could kind of hide himself in plain sight, keeping up with Denji while being, inconspicuous. I mean, it's almost like having a friend following you, but he's invisible because he's not really, and nobody's seeing him, but he's right there and he's hearing everything that's going on. So I thought that was an interesting kind of dynamic to it as well. But yeah, Denji is just, in love with Reze. He's just in love with her. And she's done the work. I mean, he's gonna you can see it, man. This guy is gonna be down with her forever. And even after the skinny dipping and everything that's going on, there's another assassin that pops through, trying to take out Reze. Okay, he shows up, and he's helped out by the Typhoon Devil. And this Typhoon Devil, man, can create a typhoon as big as anything you can imagine. And that's probably the reason why it's raining, because this assassin is after Reze. He shows up, and then he, quickly gets dealt with. Reze just basically puts him in a chokehold and chokes him out. And at that point, okay, everything that I thought it is. She's here to get Denji, because obviously Denji's got his date with the Gun Devil coming up at some point in time, and we know that that's how it's going down. The whole rest of this is just a giant fight scene. That's pretty much the opening 40 minutes, what I just described. And then everything else is just a fight scene, because once Reze, announces herself as the Bomb Devil, Now she's trying to basically kill Denji. Denji's trying to like survive, but then he starts to get the upper hand once he's, you know, accompanied by Aki and Angel. They show up to help. And then Beam makes his presence known, and then he helps. And I mean, they show up at one of the headquarters spots, and I mean, Beam fucking, I mean, not Beam, Reze fucking kills everybody. And that's one of the fucking bloodiest things I've ever seen. I was on the edge of my seat, like, holy shit, this is awesome. But I mean, those guys got wiped out. Not awesome for them, but I mean, the entire fight scene from probably about the 40-minute mark all the way to the end of the movie, I'm telling you, it was bonkers. It was a dynamite. I loved every second of it. I can't wait to go watch it again. And this is just me going off of my memory, off of what I saw from 3 or 4 days. What was it? Tuesday or Thursday? So, you know, 2 days ago. But yeah, I was blown away, man. I had a great time. And I think this is a much better movie than Demon Slayer. And I love Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
But this is a much better movie than Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. This is the anime movie of the year, in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. All right. Spoilers over. I don't know what y'all thought about that, but I enjoyed the shit out of it, man. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
I can tell you this. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was #1 on my anime list for about 15 years. Freyren came and knocked that down a peg.
Yeah.
This movie is now #2. It has knocked Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood off of the #2 perch.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive, because trying to move anything on the My Anime list to best of is very difficult to do. But it's done it.
And it's done it. I mean, here's, let me just show you kind of what folks on Rotten Tomatoes are saying. We kind of looked at it a little bit. Let me bring this up. We looked at it a little bit. Look, I know Rotten Tomatoes is Rotten Tomatoes, but I do like to use it because it's kind of where everybody is at with it. You can see 96 for the critics, 99%, over 1,000 verified ratings, and it's at 99%. This thing is dominating. If you look at the all audience drops a little bit to 97.
That's still really good.
That's still very, very, very good. Anything in the 90s is incredible. All right. This thing only got one rotten. I wonder who the one rotten guy was. Actually, you know what? I think it's the New York Times. I think it's the New York Times gave it a rotten.
Of course they would, because they're bitch made.
But man, I just feel like, I know how everybody's feeling about it. I don't want anime to go mainstream. Look, whether you like it or not, anime is going to end up going mainstream because everybody's going to follow the money. You know, if Gen Z, if 50% of Gen Z watches anime every week, and Superman and the MCU are failing and they're falling apart, and nobody's watching the movies anymore, and everybody's going to what's mainstream? What is mainstream? It's what everybody's watching. That's mainstream. It's you say a title, you say a character, you say a movie, everybody has seen it, everybody knows it. If 50% of Gen Z is going to anime, is watching anime, it has no choice but to become mainstream. Yeah, as all the old folks start dying out, right? All the boomers start dying out, and then Gen X is right behind, and we start dying out. What's going to become left? Oh, what are the millennials watching? What are the Zoomers watching? They're watching anime. So it's not going to have any choice. It's not like you're going to be able to avoid it. I understand where everybody's coming from, because you don't want anime ruined, and I don't want it ruined. I don't think Japan is going to let it get ruined. I like the lady that I'm hearing about over there, the new prime minister over there in Japan. She's up saying, hey, we got to make Japan great again. Let's get all of these folks out of the country. Yep. Let's start making Japan great. I love hearing it. So I think this lady is going to actually keep things, put a lot of this stuff in check, and double and triple down on Japan's culture, which is exactly what I want to see. You know what I'm saying?
Sanae Takaichi. And you know what? In her younger days, she's Misato, and she's also in the metal band. She is the waifu of everyone's dreams, basically, now in charge of Japan. And yeah, her and her cabinet that she's putting together, they're closer to the Take No Prisoner, Abe 2.0. Even more so, more Abe than Abe type of stuff. So I am hoping that they really do keep themselves as pure and back their mangakas, and when necessary, put the boots to Visa and MasterCard for their censorship bullshit that they've been pushing on the companies there in Japan, telling them what they can and can't sell. And they've actually been. There was one company that does put out more, or they sell more risque type stuff. Visa and MasterCard took away access to them. They were about to go under, but they have found a new payment processing system where they can process directly from your bank account, similar to an EFT, but using a slightly different payment system other than the SWIFT system. So they're still there. And yes, the hard lines. I'm so glad that they did. It's good.
Look,
they need to have more kids.
Well, I mean, that's where it's coming from. The reason that you need all of this, imported people from other countries and everything is because you don't have your own native population growing. That's the real reality of the situation. If Japan's native population was at a stable rate, they wouldn't need all of these foreign folks coming over and getting jobs. Because I mean, the thing about it is they have an aging population. That's like the big problem, right? They have an aging population and they're not having kids. What does that tell you? Oh, okay, you guys live longer than everybody else on the planet, and then you don't have people to take care of you. So you got to get innovative, and create, use technology to create, ways of replacing a lot of these workers that you're not having because you're not having kids. But then what ends up happening is, we do eventually need some people. So they, import some, folks from other countries.
And
that's a problem.
It's causing
that's
all sorts
big
of problems.
Problem. Yeah.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that. There was a movie put out back in '91 called Rujin Z. It tackles this exact problem of how to care for an aging population. Yeah. And that movie solution, an AI-powered bed that eventually becomes a war machine.
Oh wow!
and the AI in this bed for this specific old guy doing the testing is an AI version of his wife. It's wild. It's free on YouTube. It's definitely worth watching once. I remember seeing it back in the mid '90s when Sci-Fi Channel showed it.
That sounds awesome, man.
Very Japanese.
I might have to go and look that one up because that actually
only an
sounds
hour 20.
pretty awesome.
So.
Well,
it's been
here we go.
It's been a problem for a long time, so they definitely are going to have to figure out something. Part of it's going to be automation. The other part is they've just got to figure out how they can stop being weenies with each other and start wienering each other. They need to have more babies. More babies.
Well, I mean, South Korea has the same problem. You have a workforce where you have a lot of, look, I mean, I don't want to sound sexist because this might sound a little sexist, but the reality is when you have a lot of educated women, they don't have a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. That's just the reality of the situation. A lot of educated women do not have kids because that gets in the way of their careers. Obviously it does. Women are the mothers. And if you have education, you've gone to school, you've worked hard to become a doctor, a lawyer, a businesswoman, or whatever. You're not going to sit out there and have a litter of children. All right. You're not going to have 5 or 6 kids. Obviously there are some, high bell curve women that can pull that off, but your average woman, she might have 1 or 2 if you're lucky. And then a lot of women, they're just not having kids at all. We get a lot of women not having kids, and that's just the reality of the situation. That's not sexist. I'm not trying to be sexist, reality. But I mean, if you sit back and think about it, if you're a woman and, you went through, let's say the first 4 years, you go to college from 18 to 22, and then you want to get out of college. Okay, now you're going to go for your master's. Oh, that's another 4 years, or maybe another 3 or 4 years of college. So by the time you're done with all of that, you're 25 years old, 26 years old. Okay, now it's time to put this degree that I've been working for the last 8 years to work. What are you going to do? How you get around this? Oh, well, do I go to work? If I go to work, I'm competing with men that don't have to worry about being pregnant. Mm-hmm. And they're just going to go out there and do what it is that they want to do. And the women are going to have to stay at home and take care of the kids. And that's the reason why a lot of women put having kids off well into their 30s. And then when they get into their 30s, then they want children. But then now it's harder to have children. And all of this is because of education. I'm not trying to push any women away from education, but this is just the reality of the situation. It's just not feasible for women to go to college and have kids and have careers. You got to give something up. And usually what they end up giving up is the kids. It is what it is.
And then they wonder why the birth rate collapsed to nothing, why when they go to die, they're alone with their cats, or they die at home alone and their cats end up eating them and shitting all over them.
Yeah.
Not a pretty sight, but that is the truth. And let's see, Felon Lawyer is right. Right now with our birth rate, it's not bad, but it's not good. We're a 4. Japan is at an 8. South Korea is at a 10. South Korea is down to like 1 person, very close to a 1 person per 2.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
It's less than a per. Yeah, I think like if
It's
you look
very
at the
bad.
birth rate, I think the replacement level is 2.1 or something like that, 2.2, 2.3.
You should be 3.
Average.
Yeah.
Okay.
It needs to be 3 to have true replacement.
Yeah, because you take into account infant mortality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, South Korea is under 1. They're like 0.78, 0.7s or some shit like that.
And because
like
of
it's
that,
ridiculous.
Because of that, and because of the education that you mentioned, that country has turned basically communist. It turned communist overnight. It's not good. It really isn't.
I mean, definitely you get fetishes. You get a lot of weird stuff that happens because, the world has changed. More women are in the workforce than ever before. So, again, it just cuts into a lot of the current problems. You can't, if a woman isn't going to have a baby, then where you're getting your population from? Well, again, look at where these. Again, I hate to sound like some sort of not a racist or whatever, but like look where they're getting your population from. Who has excess population?
Africa,
uneducated countries,
Middle Eastern.
The uneducated countries of the world. They have the excess population. They do.
India. Yeah.
India, Africa. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that's the problem. You have a lot of extra people because the women don't have education. And when they do get education, all of that stuff comes to an end. It is what it is,
Yep.
But anyway, we're talking anime. We kind of got off the beaten path.
Well, it all ties back into
it all does tie back together because, again, this comes down to Japan preserving its culture. And the only way you're going to get Japan. Look, when I went to Japan in May, I went to Japan for 3 weeks and I saw just an amazing, beautiful culture, clean cities, wonderful people, polite, the best, nicest people you'll ever want to meet in your life. And I was like, as soon as I got on the plane to come back, I'm like, I cannot wait to come back over here. Oh my God. And I miss it even to this day. I cannot wait to go back. I want that culture preserved. Everything just the way it is. And look, the city, I mean, it lights up at night. Tokyo is gorgeous. Osaka is beautiful. Kyoto has such history to it. And I only got like 2.5 weeks there. I want to go and spend a month and just explore and hike and travel and bike and go all over the country because I just want to see more of this country. It's an amazing country, but I want it to stay Japanese. I don't want America coming or the West or anybody else up over there messing it up. And so, what we talk about is about preserving a lot of Japanese culture. Just preserve it the way it is. Keep it exactly the way it is. And keep Crunchyroll in check as well, all right? Even though now they're bringing in some movies for me to enjoy. Thank you, Crunchyroll, for that. Anime rules the box office again with Chainsaw Man powering to $15 to $17 million. This number keeps going up, all right? The last time I looked at it, it was like, it's going to do about 12. And they said Chainsaw Man, it's going to do about 12. And now they say, then it went up to 14. It'll do about 14, 11 to 14 million, somewhere in there. And now it's 15 to 17 million. And that's just as it is morning. I guarantee you when we tune in tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a video on it. We'll tune in tomorrow and it's going to be somewhere around 17 to 20 or something like that. Because anime is here. You can't get away from it, baby. It's here. And look. Whether you are happy about anime being mainstream or not, you just got to admit that this is the direction everything is going. It is going to be up to the mangakas, to the anime studios, to keep it pure, to keep it Japan. We're not trying to placate these Western audiences and give them something that looks like Marvel or looks like Star Wars or looks like Lord of the Rings or any of that. We are going to do anime the way we want to do anime. That's the way it is. So yeah, it is vital that if you're going to allow these, you know, or you're going to try to push yourselves into American mainstream, I don't care about that. I'm here for anime. As long as anime is true to what it is, I'm good.
Yeah. And I do think, at least for a while, it will stay closer to its original form than an overly westernized version, although there are some companies, Squeenix, that have totally bent the knee and other things like that, but they don't have very much. But most of it is still closer to what the mangakas want in the anime form. So, and there is one for next year that I will say will be an absolute must-watch. You've got to, if you haven't watched the Apothecary Diaries, there's 2 seasons
I haven't watched
of it.
That.
It is fantastic.
Is
absolutely
okay.
Fantastic. Season 3 for it is coming out in the fall. It's having a movie in December, and then the second half of its 3rd season in the spring. Yeah, if you go to anime Twitter, it's all over the place, and I highly recommend that series. It's so good.
Man, there's so much to watch. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, obviously. A lot of people have recommended it.
Yeah.
But all of that being said, it's like, come on. I get recommended like every one of these, you guys recommend like 4 or 5 anime, and it's like, bruh, by the time we get through with the year, I've probably had over 200 anime recommended to me, aside from the stuff that I want to watch on my own. We're talking about 200 anime recommended. It's too much. There's so much to watch. You know, I think there should be, like, one of these days, me and you, Brandon, we're gonna have to sit down and just come up with like the core anime that everybody needs to watch.
Oh, see, that's a tough one. Mostly
but I
because
think if we sit down, me, you, and then maybe name, and maybe I'll pull one more person in and just say, okay, look, if you have 10 anime and only 10 that are must watch, you have to watch it, or, you know, I'm gonna be questioning your anime fandom if you ain't watched this. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you haven't watched this? Oh, I don't know if you a fan, bro. I'm kind of questioning your fandom right now. You know,
if we could break it up into eras, it'd be a little easier. But just
it might be easier if you break it into eras, yeah. Because, like, yeah, there's stuff that I watched as a kid that it's like, yeah, maybe some people wouldn't have known about it, and it might not necessarily be must-see TV. But I think there's certain ones, like, you got, come on, you've had to have watched, and maybe not necessarily watched it all the way through to the end, because, like, One Piece, shit, man, I'm
still not done. Although,
and look, I'm be honest, man, I'm in the 400s.
Yeah,
I haven't watched all of that, bruh.
Yeah, I'm still in Impel Down. Luffy just barely got done getting hormone healed, which is wild as hell, thinking that was back in 2011. But actually, with that, I have heard that Oda-san says that it's going to be done next October.
Okay. See that? So now I want to get caught up.
Yeah,
now I'm like, all right, man. I might have
that's
to
a tough
start...
one to binge.
That's tough, bruh.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible to binge. It's impossible. Let me hit these super chats real quick.
Yes.
And it's not much, but it's now it's known. That's Mac, my homie Mac, always giving me great anime information. All right, keeping me plugged into what's going on. I appreciate you guys, by the way, when you guys like DM me. Never think that I'm annoyed by it or whatever. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just can't get back to everybody every single time, but I read everything that everybody sends to me. If you DM me, if you tag me into something, listen, I'll sometimes I respond and sometimes I don't. But it's nothing personal. I just got a lot of shit to do and a lot of stuff to read, and I'm constantly trying to stay on top of things. But if you send me a video or an article or something, guarantee I've read it. I guarantee you I've read it. Maybe I didn't read the one you sent me, but I've probably read it from somebody else, because I'll get like 4 or 5 of the same things. But look, I appreciate you guys all day long. Mac is one of my top dogs that always laces me up with great information. So thank you, Mac. Appreciate it. Everybody should get over there and give him a follow on X. Now it's known. That's his handle. And he's really good, man. He is absolutely excellent. Thank you, bro. Brandon, my guy.
Yes.
Member for 5 months. Holy cow, Chainsaw Man. Cannot wait to hear the report. This fall season has been lit. Winter will be even more powerful. Hail, DA. Long live anime. Thank you, bro. Thank you, sir, for being a member for 5 months. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining me on my anime tour as well on
Absolutely.
Anime Night. You guys get over there and subscribe to Brandon. All right. You guys know him. He's been around for a long time. The anime guy, get over there on X and follow him there, as well as sub to his YouTube channel. His link is in the description, by the way, permanently there. So you guys can go and follow him as a member of the family. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate that. And then
Absolutely.
lastly, we got Dragon Master Zero. He drops a $10 super sticker. What is that, man? It's like a little video game controller leveling up. I love it, man. I love it. Leveling up, bro. Thank you very much, Dragon Master Zero. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Brandon, for you guys' support. You guys mean a lot to me, and I appreciate it. Here we go. Let's give them some All Might love for the super chat. You guys earned it. Here you go. Oh, wait. You won't believe it, Brandon. I actually did move the All Might over here one night, and then it failed.
Oh, no.
It failed as I was bringing it over. So, and I didn't go back to do it. So now let me go ahead and upload here. Here we go. Oh, shoot. It cut off. My bad. Hold on. Hold up. Let's try it again. All Might. And look, Draconis is coming in with a super sticker. What?
Very
Draconis,
nice.
Dragon Master Zero, back-to-back super stickers. Draconis, he gives the little hippo, giving a KO uppercut punch. My guy. Thank you very much, Draconis. You the man for that. Hey, we're going to give you your love, too. Thank you, sir, for the super sticker. Much love to that. And here's All Might one more again. Yeah, here goes one of those posts where Mac, like I said, he keeps me up to date on what's going on. Chainsaw Man makes the cut. It gets an A cinema score from the audience. That's amazing, man. A cinema score is good by any stretch for an anime movie that some people might have not known that. I don't know nothing about Chainsaw Man. They went out, they watched it, they gave it an A cinema score. This is great. This is great, and you love to see it. And this is why I feel like with anime doing all of this work, it's going to go mainstream. There's no chance it doesn't. There's no chance it doesn't. It's going to be mainstream. People will be watching it. People will be talking about it. Gen Z is going to start buzzing more and more. Oh, you guys got to do this movie, that movie, so on and so forth. You just said Apothecary Diaries. Is there a different movie or some other movie that you think could really do a good job in the box office?
Oh, I can't think of any others that are coming out here soon. Any of the works by Studio Ghibli always does very well, and I know that Old Man Miyazaki is working on a new project right now. But just thinking about what's coming out this next year, I haven't really looked all that closely to the movie side to see what's coming out. But I do know that with the Apothecary Diaries, with as popular as it is, it's very popular manga. Very well done anime. The movie will do very well. It will be really good. But you know what? Let me actually take a look here and take a peek at what is
I'm
coming out
looking
this
right
next year.
now. And you guys in the chat, feel free if you guys want to throw something out there. Stacey Gardner, that's a great score, man. That is a great score. There's only like a handful, like if you start thinking from an MCU standpoint, there's only a handful of MCU movies that have had an A+ or an A cinema score. Like it's A+, A-, and that's it. So I mean, this is like right there near the top. This is amazing. This is a great score. I feel like what we're starting to see is, okay, we know that kids will come into the, we know Gen Z is going to be there. We know they're going to be there, and some millennials and anime fans. But as the word spreads, you're going to start seeing, okay, like I talked about, when Jujutsu Kaisen is ready to wrap things up. I mean, there's a JJK movie coming, next month, right? Isn't that coming next month? JJK?
Man, I don't know. Let me take it.
Yeah. It's a Hidden Inventory Premature Death, which premiered earlier in the year, and JJK Execution, a compilation movie set for a December 5, 2025 release. Well, so JJK is coming. Execution.
Yeah, that one will be good. And looking at its overall score on AniList, it's up in the 83s, which is very hard to do. So that'll be a good one. And there's a few sports movies coming out. There's a few others. As I said, movies are a little harder to really gauge.
It's harder
here. Over in Japan, they scoop this stuff up and they drink it. they love their anime over there in all forms. But looking to next year, there's some stuff next year that's going to be really good. And there's been a whole ton of stuff that's actually been pretty good this year, but most of it hasn't been released in the U.S. It's all just Japanese cinema, mostly. But yeah, that's
Tony, did you get... Tony, you finally became a member. It says Draconis, thank you. Finally, Tony gets his membership courtesy of Draconis. And don't forget, if you are a member, you can watch all of the anime. Well, not the anime. I shouldn't say that. The Nightcap clips, which run at night. Oh, shoot. I got to switch back. Sorry. Nightcap runs at night. And once Nightcap goes dead, we pull the plug on it, and it's only for members. So if you're not a member, once the Nightcap is over, you can't watch the Nightcap, but it's available for all members. You can always go back and watch the replay. And then on top of that, there are member videos out there that you may or may not have seen, and those are also be there. I'm also going to be doing more member videos. I actually have a couple of ideas for some member videos that I want to put together. So those will be out there as well. So thank you, Draconis, for helping out a fellow member. All right. He says, I sniped Tony. Got him at last. Okay, look, Anime Nights is generally just a 1 hour show. I'm about to wrap some stuff up. Everybody get over to Brandon, support him. Thank you, Brandon, for hanging out tonight. We're going to do this again on Friday. Hopefully this next coming Friday, I'm not feeling ill, and then I can continue to, and then, we'll be good there. But Brandon, do you have anything coming up that you want to shout out to the folks that's watching?
Oh, let's see. I've got some videos I'm going to work on. My 3-episode review of shows that are brand new this season have been very popular. Try to game stream when I can. Other than that, Wednesday nights, since I now work I work up until the 7 o'clock hour, I will be continuing the Anime Guy After Dark series on Wednesdays. Not sure who I'm going to have this Wednesday, but that's going to be continuing. And of course, Anime 101 every Saturday. I've got a great guest lined up for next week, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And just watching the anime, I'm caught up on my things. And actually, I'm going to give you the 4 shows that are absolute must-watch from this season.
Wait, but before you do that,
Pochita,
look at this popcorn bucket, man.
Yes.
This is clean. That is a clean popcorn bucket. That is dope, man. Now, see, that's what I want. If I have to get a popcorn bucket, it's got to be something like this. That is a clean-looking popcorn bucket right there, man.
Yes, it is. And who doesn't love Pochita? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, a little chainsaw in his head. It would be kind of cool if the chainsaw, like, you could rev it and it can move around. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be, although that probably would have put it way too expensive to do.
Yeah, then that makes it more expensive or whatever. I wonder how much this thing is. It's probably like, let's see, it says it's available at Cinemark. See, I got AMC, so I can't go there. I got to check into that, man, because that's kind of cool. But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What are your 4?
I would have to drive down to Utah to go see that, because that's where my closest Cinemark is at. But from this season, I've dropped a few shows, and there's no shame in dropping a show if you don't like it. If anybody says, no, if you start a show, you got to finish it. Bullshit. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. That's rule 1.
I don't believe in that either. Yep.
There are 4. I gave you a few last week, but I'm modifying this a little bit. The 4 brand new shows that are absolute must-watches. May I ask for one final thing?
Okay.
Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider.
Oh, okay. Yep.
A wild last boss appeared.
Yep.
Sonda.
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 Is that a new one? I don't think you talked about that one last week.
I didn't talk about it last week. I was kind of on the edge with it, but now we're 4 episodes in. I see where it's going. Science Saru just keeps going and making a mockery of most other animation houses. It's
Sonda.
It directly tackles the issue of the birth rate and what happens when, But
you know what? You're right. I talked about this. Okay, yes. I got you. I talked about this before. It just slipped my mind. Yeah, Sonda. I was when I was talking about the movies that the animes that I was interested in. This did spark my interest. I do remember this. I remember the picture more than anything. But yeah, I thought that the opening, it sounds interesting. It's Santa Claus, right?
Yep. It's Santa.
Yeah. Look, just like we was talking about in near future Japan with the ultra low birth rates, children are treasured but monitored. Santa is banned as dangerous. One snowy December 25th, middle schooler Katsushige Sanda, a descendant of Santa, is attacked by classmate Furimura, who wants him to find her missing friend. Ono's Santa, please find my friend to protect children from adults. Sanda decides to become Santa and fight the adults. And you're 4 episodes in, and you say yes, do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was skeptical after the first episode, but now that I'm 4 in, that and the other 3. If you have to really, truly narrow it down because of time, which I totally get, it's hard. When there's 50, 60 new shows each and every season, it's hard to try and narrow it down for the time you have. As far as brand new stuff goes, those are the 4 brand new ones. If anything is returning, if you watch the prior, automatically pick it up. Like for me, Uma Musume, Cinderella Grey, Second Core, easy. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Yeah, because I've seen the first season. My Hero, of course, if you've seen season 7, watch season 8 because season 8 is, And yes, Science Saru did do Dawn to Dawn, and they're working on Dawn to Dawn season 3, obviously. But any returning shows, automatically pick them up. They're great. The brand new shows, these are the 4, they're easily the 4 best ones, especially Sonda. And Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider, because this once again goes to the heart of Japanese culture, just like how the British have Doctor Who, how we used to have Star Trek. The Japanese have Kamen Rider. They have Ultraman. They have the Super Sentais. They've got all of them. And once you see Tojima, you go for the action, you stay for the fan service. Let's put it that way.
Oh, look, it's sometimes you go for the fan service, and then you stay for the action, and then you also stay for the fan service. It's like, I love it all.
That one goes full circle, and this is one that I really want to binge. The problem that I'm running into with it is where they leave off. The literal definition of, I need it now, I cannot wait, making me wait pisses me off. It's that good. It's wild. Oh, it's so good.
I love it. I love it. All right, everybody. Look, we will listen. As long as you guys are here, I'm here. Thank you very much for rocking it out. We got up to about 55 tonight, which is a solid number. Again, it's the anime stream. I'm not accustomed to that. Most of my audience doesn't like anime, but you guys do. I do. So I'm going to continue to do anime streams, and I'm going to have my fun. Listen, I talk a lot of shit about Hollywood for a very good reason, because Hollywood has pissed me off. But I am not pissed off with anime. Everything that I'm getting coming out of this genre is dynamite. And so I'm going to continue to do this. And I'm going to start doing more anime segments and videos because now I'm having a good time. I'm smiling. I'm enjoying myself. And that's what, in my opinion, like Tony said, time is precious and life is short. It's too short to not enjoy things and then talk about them. Even if I only had like the 50 of you guys that came tonight, even if that was it, I'm like, that's cool. We're going to rock it out. We're going to talk anime for at least an hour and we'll enjoy that. Let me check the poll. What did the poll end up like? Hey, look, 51% said anime going mainstream is a good thing. 51%. So at least half of you guys say it's good. The other half say bad. I think as long as anime remains Japanese, I don't see a problem with it being mainstream. As long as it remains Japanese. And I think that's the fear, right? Is that it's not going to. It's going to shift or whatever. But I can't see Brandon, can you see the mangakas and the anime studios switching up and trying to just be mainstream and listening to all of these localizers and all of the folks over in the West? Can you imagine them doing it? I can't see it happen.
Mangakas, no. Studios, yes, because their money flows from outside of Japan in a lot of ways. Like with Square Enix. Square Enix is a relatively good sized corporation, but they've had their entertainment division, their manga division, their anime division, and some of the stuff they do is really good, and other stuff they let get butchered. Yeah. And each one of these studios, it just really depends. So far, Science Saru hasn't screwed up. Yeah, they're one of the newer ones that hasn't. Mappa has been up and down. They've all had their ups. They've all had their downs. But there are certain studios that you do have to keep an eye on a little more closely. Square Enix being the prime candidate. Kadokawa and Kodansha, they do have certain arms of their funding that do come from DEI sources, but it's not overwhelming yet. That's the single biggest problem, is you do get these studios that turn to a Western localizer, but they don't keep the thumb on them. And there have been a few of them that have been completely ruined in their English translation, either in just the dubbing or even with the actual translation itself. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, unwatchable dubbed because of that, because of the blue-haired land whale brigade bullcrap. So.
Yeah, and see, that's where number one. That's why I'm trying to learn Japanese. I'm doing my best to learn as much Japanese as I can. I don't know, like everything that I look at, it's like, bro, it's gonna take you like 10 years to get fluent. And I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing else to do. But
what else we gonna do?
What else I'm gonna do? I'm here, man. My kids are grown. All right, my kids is all older and grown, so it's like, hey, man, I get to do what I want to do at this stage of game. But I think honestly, like, the big problem, I think, when people start thinking of anime going mainstream, what they're thinking about is like live action reboots, live action remakes, things like that. And then also the localizers stepping in, like that type of stuff. Like they're afraid of that. And I think that's what Hollywood wants. Hollywood wants to do the live action. Hey, we're just going to take it and make it over here. Like Sergeant Giratina, I think he said it right here. Anime should never be allowed to be created here in America. And no, it shouldn't. Yeah, I don't think it will be. I think what's going to happen is they're going to buy the live action rights to do like My Hero Academia and, like Fairy Tale or whatever, like stuff that they think is going to work over here in the West. And then they'll butcher it, but true anime will still be there. Like actual anime is like, okay, well, that's their live action bullshit. You can still watch the original. And as long as that's what it is, you can safely ignore all the live action remakes. I do. I have no problem ignoring live action remakes, and I'm just going to watch the original. And I feel like if that's all Hollywood wants out of it, I think we'll be all right. But the mainstream portions will say, hey, this anime is good, and they make a live action remake of it, or and then everybody is going to do like they did with One Piece. When the One Piece live action came out, what did that make everybody do? Go watch the original.
Watch the original, read the manga. If you can read fairly quickly, you can buzz through the 105, 106 volumes in days without too much problem. It really is a fairly easy read. I just am lazy, and I've only got through what do I have? I have up through the East Blue, right before they go up right before they get to the Grand Line by going up Reverse Mountain and running into Laboon. That's I will say this. Netflix has a bad tendency of having a good first season and the rest of it being shit.
Yeah,
I hope that's not the case with this. I'm hoping
I am too,
Otison's health was good enough for him to keep the thumb on him. But what they have shown for them going up Reverse Mountain and down Reverse Mountain and running into the Boon, yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. That's going to be so much fun.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Exactly. I think
it
that's
will
what, and I think that's what the Western companies can do. Find the fun parts of the original and make people want to go and watch the original. That's what One Piece did for a lot of people. It's like, oh, I want to go watch the original One Piece now, and it created it added to the fandom. That's what the live action should be for. It shouldn't be, oh, we're going to make it better than the anime. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to do a better job than what was done by the mangakas and by the anime studios. Forget about it. But what you can do is entice people to go and look back at the original anime, and maybe you create some new audience and some new fans that way. At least that's what I hope.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
One Piece is very special and unique in this whole thing because not only the length of time, but because of how popular it is way over the course of time. They are actually Wit Studio, who's one half of the team that does Spy Family. Yeah. They have been tasked with going through and starting over with the East Blue, trimming it up, slimming it up. They've released key visuals over the time that they've been working on it. Their work looks very close to the original Toei animation, but because of it's newer, it's going to be a lot more fluid and not as early 2000s-esque, which isn't bad. It's just different era. But they, I believe, are going to be tasked with going up to everything up to the time skip, and then Toei, they've already started this, going through and doing everything past that because they've already remastered and trimmed down the next section, which was Fishman Island. So they've got their main one that they're going to finish. Once Oda-san's done with that, then they'll be able to go back through, finish up the show, continue their redo after Fishman Island, and then with Wit Studio doing the first 500 episodes or so and trimming them down to maybe closer to 350, 400. We will have a definitive edition of One Piece with no filler, even though some of the filler's fun. No filler's better. And having it look awesome and be awesome. And, of course, laughing like the Joy Boy. So good.
Nice.
So good.
All right, bro. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Everybody have a good night. We will see y'all again next week for Anime Nights. It's going to be on Friday night for sure this time. At least I hope so. As long as I'm not feeling ill, we'll do Anime Nights on Friday nights at 9 p.m. so you guys can come and hang out with us and get your weekend started that way. All right, Brandon, thank you for hanging out with us. Everybody, hit the like button on the way out if you have not already done so, and we will see you guys again on the next one. Peace out.
See ya.
Didn't go.